someone spent their entire life pursuing something. Along the way, they found some nuggets that they then just say nonchalantly in a conversation with someone on a podcast, or that they put in the first paragraph of this book, and for $10 or $20 or for free, you can get it. My name's Caleb Brandalise. I am starting a new video series. The purpose behind this series is for a few different reasons, for sure, but I think that there's an underlying recurring theme that will be for getting thoughts that I feel are worthwhile out onto the web for people like you to decide whether or not to do something with them. It might be a story, maybe a lesson. How about some philosophies come in? And the theme that this video series that I'm starting is gonna be around is called Do What You Can. There was a video that came out not too long ago, about a year ago, that Casey Neistat did called Do What You Can't. Link in description. And first off, I loved that video. I really thoroughly enjoy Casey's content and the type of person he is. He's a hardworking guy that has followed his dreams nonstop, which led him to not just the success he has on YouTube, but the success of the video that I was talking about, the Do What You Can't video. The purpose behind that video, to give you context, is that all throughout Casey's life, he had been doing things against the grain. I'm pretty familiar with this too. However, so with his story is people said you can't have a high-paying career without going to a good college. So he didn't go to college and he has a high-paying career. You can't have a TV show. You got a show on HBO. You can't live your dream, etc., etc. And these were things that his parents, his friends, society had told him you can't do. And he had continued to do them because they were things that he genuinely wanted to do, things that he was good at, and things he was willing to work towards. He did them. He loves doing that. And so his purpose message behind that video was to do what you can't. If people say you can't start that company, do it. If people say you can't keep a good relationship, prove them wrong. You can't run that fast, whatever it might be. And so over the last year, I've gone through the largest transition within my professional career. I consider the last 7 years of my life to have been all a part of my professional career. It's when I started reading great books. Ever since the time I stuck under the wing of a series of great mentors and built $1 million sales organization, generating global revenue for a company that was just transitioning into e-commerce. I mean, granted, before that, through my teen years, I did a lot of stuff that really helped pave the way and set a great base for leadership and speaking and sales and training as well. But particularly over the last year was my biggest. It's when I stepped away from companies and started my own. I started an eco-friendly vegan e-commerce platform last year. And through that journey, as being a first-time founder, getting into the tech space, because we got to build an app, got to build a team, got to build out tech, systems, and orchestrate architecture that can help support this big dream of mine. I knew what I was getting into when I just made the decision at the beginning of last year. I know how I operate. I know if I set my mind to something, I will achieve it to some extent or greater. And so I wanted to start filming and documenting. I'm like, oh, this would be great to follow along the journey of a first-time founder going into the vegan space, launching a company within the tech industry, and showing what it's like in a day-by-day operations for an entrepreneur that is just learning the game as he goes along. And so, I had this big event set up last year with Dr. Greger, this guy that was in What the Health, Forks Over Knives, Fat, Sick, Nearly Dead. He runs nutritionfacts.org. He's a massively influential persona within the health and wellness and plant-based space. And so I had this event planned with him. I had some other things in the works. I've been working with Startup San Diego, a nonprofit in San Diego that focuses on events that help support the tech-based entrepreneurs that are budding here in town. And so I thought I would have an interesting thing to journalize and digitize and video eyes. If you were to compare it to something else, like I would watch every minute of Steve and Steve inside their garage when they were founding Apple. Like those would just be great conversations. The thoughts, the moments, the things that help get them to the next step each time. Like if all, any famous actor's career, if you saw them at the beginning, them getting turned down for a screen, them reading a script and saying this was a waste of time, falling short of negotiating the price that they want, and so they do something at a loss. I just thought it would set the precedence for people to be able to know what to do, how to do it along the way of a first-time founder. What takes someone 10 years in a career to learn, you could learn in a few videos sometimes. And that's one of the great benefits of things like books, of listening to things like podcasts. From the right person, you can get a lifelong lesson. Someone spent their entire life pursuing something. Along the way, they found some nuggets that they then just say nonchalantly in a conversation with someone on a podcast, or that they put in the first paragraph of this book. And for $10 or $20 or for free, you can get it. And so I just wanted to document my life, because I know that I know that I pull value out of things interestingly, and I want to challenge myself to be able to communicate those and help articulate philosophies onto the mind of someone else that's willing to fight the good fight along their way. And so this is what brings us to this video series. I'm starting this out because of a frustration that came, because over the last 11 months, some enormous things have happened in my life. Launched my company, had a successful event, went through a death, a breakup, and a pivot within my business too. And I've been filming nonstop, but I wasn't creating or putting out any content. I mean, you can see my channel; it's pretty clean. and so I'm just stockpiling all these videos, and I was getting frustrated that I wasn't putting out stuff that I was putting on record. And one of the things I learned early on in my career is, like, whenever you're upset, get to the root of the things. Today, people kind of see ways of looking at things in first principles. Like, if you're emotional about something, just guide the feelings with questions. Tony Robbins says that the quality of your life is determined upon the quality of the questions you continue to ask yourself. So whenever something pops up, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel this way? What can I do to overcome this? How can I use this as fuel for my future? What am I going to be able to extract from this experience to be able to invest in tomorrow? Things like that, like there's never a bad moment. Everything's perfect, and you can use anything for anything. And so when my frustration came up with this, I was like, why am I frustrated? Because I'm not putting out content. I'm like, okay, if I put out content, would I be happier? And instinctually, I'm like, yeah, probably. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to put out content? I'm like, oh, well, maybe I could set up something simpler than like a daily vlog. And instead of editing together a full day and trying to put it out, I'm like, so I guided myself to find out that if I was able to make a video that was short enough to be able to not need editing much, to then be able to put out that same day within an hour, then I thought I could do an hour a day. Putting together a full day's worth of clips to, put a few good rants or a few good ideas into a video. I mean, like, sometimes a daily vlog's video editing session with minimum transitions, barely any sound effects, little to no music, it's like 3 to 4, 5, 6 hours. Like, it is no joke. And so, I knew that documenting was going to be valuable, and that video can be used in the future, so I'm not worried about that. But there was this thing of not putting out stuff. So I guided myself towards what's really the cause of this frustration. What can I do? And I thought I could make a video where I could do a one thought clip where I'm just spitting some words out over a certain topic over a few minutes. This one might be a little bit longer because it's an intro. And then I felt like, wow, that's something I can do in the morning, have my stuff uploaded before while I'm eating breakfast. Like, that sounds cool. That would be neat. And so I do want to give this a try. And instead of doing what you can't do, I guess you should still do that. You definitely can still do what you can't do. But I did want to start doing what I can do too. And what I feel like I can do is I can shoot a video. I can make a topic before I go to sleep, wake up in the morning, drink water, do some push-ups, get my body activated, and shoot a video and talk to you for a few minutes. Get that onto my computer, eat breakfast, do some edits, upload, and take off. And I do feel like I can add that into my schedule. I guess maybe some days, I might have to wait till the end of the day, but I want the video to be light. I want to be able to be on my back patio or something just speaking. So anyway, so I am challenging myself to do what I can do. I learned from Tim Ferriss to not be like, I'm going to start this thing every day or every week forever. Have a set number that you're going to commit to and test the waters then. So I'll do this for a week and see how it goes and adjust as I need. But if this idea sounds neat to you, follow along. It'd be great to have you, hear your insight. Let me know what you want to hear about, think about, be about, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks. Bye. Aphids on my wire. Oh, aphids on my pants.